So I was saying I wanted to talk about one of the mistakes that I think that any woman would make in her lifetime. Yeah. So to clarify, anytime I make my videos, I'm talking to women, okay? People ask, but some of these things are also applicable to men. Please, please, please. This is 2024, okay? I no agree for all those questions this year. So anytime I'm talking, I'm addressing my women because I want Nigerian women to be more intentional about their lives, about the way they do the things they do, and about the decisions that they make. Because these things are haunting us. These things are not putting us in a good light. So today I was going to talk around one of the costly mistakes that I see some women making is pairing themselves with men, partners who are not proactive, okay? Because the worst mistake you can make as a woman is to find yourself in a relationship with someone that is not proactive. When I talk about proactiveness, I'm talking about, of course, in the setting of Africans, we believe that the man is your head. We say the man is your head. I don't know what happened to your own head, why the man has to be your head. Anyway, but that's not the conversation for today, okay? So you as a woman, you also have your own head. So you should be thinking. But a lot of times when women come out with their stories, I wonder what happened to their ability to, analyze things. So you go and pair yourself with someone whose intellectual capacity is lower than yours. Not just that it is lower than yours, the person is not doing anything to even upgrade themselves. How does that person direct the affairs of your home? And worse still, you find yourself in that relationship where that person is bad enough that he can't lead the family in the right direction. He always makes the wrong mistakes. And then he doesn't even think that he needs to allow you to suggest certain things. I don't know how we find ourselves in relationships with this kind of people, because I see people writing stories, and these are the kind of stories I read. And I'm always tired. I'm like, how did you arrive there? Did they force him on you? Or what exactly happened? So yeah, talking about going with people or a partner that is not proactive. Because what happens is you're working with that person who does not have foresight. He doesn't make projections. He doesn't look into the future. He doesn't read. He doesn't even know where the direction of the home, the direction of the family. And he consistently makes these mistakes that end up driving all of you into the ditch. So you that you're following him, you're doing my head. You're not using your own head to think and to ask questions, to even do your own research. Every time they ask you questions, you say, this is what my husband said. That is what my husband did not say. And all that. You are not using your own brain. You went to school. I'm now talking to graduates who went to school, people who finished 6 years in primary school, 6 years in secondary school, 4 or 5 years in the university together. These things are almost 20 years of studying. You cannot use your head to think of things for your own life. Then that person makes those decisions that drive you into a pit. Do you know that when two of you land in that pit, if you're not careful, before long, you're going to be blamed for that problem? Because I've seen situations where some of these men made the wrong decisions in their lives. Then they start going to consult mediums. They start going to prayer houses. They start going to all sorts of people who start telling them things like, it's like it is the woman in your life that is pulling you down. It's like there is, spiritual, and it's also the spiritual problem is always the woman, It's always coming from the woman. That's why I have that problem. I have a very big problem with the story of Adam and Eve, the people that wrote that story. You put that story together and you said they put the story together and they said the serpents came through the woman. So every time there's a problem, there's always a tendency, problem in the home, there's always a tendency to look at the woman as the source or origin of that problem. So in this video, what I'm trying to say is that as a woman, it's very important for you to switch on your thinking ability. The things that enable you to think, to reason, to reflect. And that is why I always keep talking about people reading. You have to improve your mind continuously and constantly, especially where you have children. If you don't have children, it's okay for you to continue to allow your life to be run, into ditches, from one ditch onto another. And at the end, you will still be blamed for the problems. But if you have other people that you brought into that relationship, it's very important for you to also go out of your way to get knowledge, information, to drive your life in the direction that you should be going. So I said to drop this. I'm so inspired by today's sun. I've not seen sun since December, you know. So I'm really excited. So please, if you've gotten anything from what I've said on a more serious note, if you know that you have found yourself in a relationship where you feel that you're functioning with someone who is not very proactive, the most important thing for you to do at this time in this year is to wear a new thinking cap and start thinking for your own self so that you don't end up in the ditches that are, that the driver is going to fall into in future. Yeah, so this is my advice for you today. Till I see you again, have a nice time. Bye bye.